One big problem with Premiere Pro is that there are many ways to do one thing. Take importing, for instance. There's a bunch of different ways to bring media in, and that can leave you wondering which way is the right way. Well, technically, there is a correct way to import media, and after watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to be convinced that this is the right way too. Hi, I'm Sean Dykink. I'm a professional video editor, and I've been editing in studio and freelance environments since 2005. I'm also an online educator, teaching over 30,000 students how to edit with purpose. And one thing I've done in multiple different ways over the years of editing has been importing media. But the best way to import media, in my opinion, is the media browser. And there are a number of reasons why this option blows every other option out of the water, and here's why. The biggest issue I hear from other editors, especially those working in teams or with freelancers, is that when media isn't imported through the media browser, it leads to all sorts of problems like import errors, files going offline even when they're in the right folder, or missing metadata. Personally, I've run into these issues very minimally, but they do happen. And maybe you're not working in big teams or working with high-end cameras with complex metadata, so this may not be enough to convince you. But here's the thing, why not build good habits now? What happens when you're hired onto a team and you drag and drop clips into the timeline or project panel, and suddenly another editor runs into errors because of how you imported media? Yeah, that's not good. One of the biggest benefits of using the media browser is the ability to import spanned or fragmented clips. So some cameras record one continuous shot across multiple files. And if you try to import these using the drag and drop or file import method, they're not going to come in properly. But with the media browser, it only shows relevant files. You can preview and import the clips without worrying that you're getting the wrong ones. Often, you don't get all of your media for a project at once. You're constantly adding assets as the project evolves. If you're alt-tabbing to your Explorer from Premiere Pro, that takes just as long, if not longer, than using your media browser and clicking and dragging from there. So here's a quick tip. Right-click on your main project folder in the media browser and choose Add to Favorites. And this pins your current project near the top, so it's always easy to access new media coming in. A lot of editors like using Explorer or Finder because of the metadata available in the columns and the customizability of this. For example, the date column, it's super helpful because since you're collecting assets over time, days, weeks, months, or even years, being able to sort by date helps you instantly find the most recent media to import. A lot of you may not know this, but the media browser also includes metadata columns for organizing visually. Just right-click on the main project folder of your current edit, select Edit Columns, and this gives you a bunch of metadata that you can select to customize your media browser. To simplify, just select Date Created. Now you can organize all your clips by date created right inside the media browser. A lot of editors don't use the media browser because it just takes more time. No, I disagree, it does not. You might hit Command or Control I to import, and that quickly brings up your project folder for import, and select what you need, hit open, and that works just fine. But we can do something similar within the media browser. So here's a way to supercharge your media browser experience. Step 1, exit out of all the other windows that are open. Just keep your media browser and your project panel. And with these panels in the preferred place, select Window, Workspaces, and Save as New Workspace. And make sure you add 01 underscore at the beginning of the name. We can name this like Import Media, something like that. And what this does is push that saved workspace to the top of your custom workspaces list. And now you can toggle between your editing and import workspaces with ease using these shortcuts. There's no more opening Finder or Explorer windows. It's all inside Premiere Pro. If you're still not convinced to use the media browser, that's totally fine. But just remember, you run into import errors, media that won't relink, or other metadata issues after handing off your project to another editor, colorist, or sound designer, it might be because of the way you imported your media. Premiere Pro has a lot of ways to do the same thing, in this case, importing media. It's good to know all the options available, but choose the one that works best for your workflow and also doesn't break your project down the line. If you want to hear my take on another area where there's multiple ways to do the same thing, check out this video right here. This one. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching.